Delightful weather here in Wichita. We did have a freeze, but we haven't made a killing freeze yet that I can tell. We're getting close, but anyway, should be in the 60s. Great football weather in our part of the world. And most places it'd probably be the same too. Um, it's Friday. It's post the month's biggest auction. The normal reaction is a pause day. Based on the strength in the E-mini, my guess is we're probably going to test support below 130 on this contract. But we haven't gotten very deep on several of our tests of support this entire week. So 130 may actually hold, and we'll have the 130.01, 130.05 buy zone to give us a chance to set up. But right now it does look lower. Possibilities of a mom off of the 10 area right here. And yesterday we rejected prices below 1.5. We also have a shot at stops possibly below 27.28. So our first buy band is very, very aggressive, and it's based on the E-mini having trouble at 1250 and not able to break that. Our second buy band at 25 to 29 is within reach. And as for planning purposes right now, this would be the area where I'm really thinking about engaging the market. Okay, to the short side, because we have a trading range and we have to see what sets up, I had 11 to 15 as a sell. Picking up this area, then 19 to 23, and of course to get into these two areas, it take a little selling in the E-mini. The last rotate up was 10, so our sell zone may have moved down to 7 to 11 right now. So we'll have to see how that shakes out. But given what usually happens on post-market day, they'll run it down a little bit. They'll run it up a little bit. You'll have less than normal range. And the reason for this is that the dealer's biggest clients are on the sidelines. They've bought the when issued market. They don't need any more paper. The dealers usually take a break after all the fun and games they've imposed on the market, trying to move the new issue off of their inventory list. So usually it is a trading range with a compressed price range. And you can see that in the overnight volume. This morning I came in, it was 49,000. The overnight volume right now is 57,000. So there's not a lot of interest. Normally we'd be looking in the 150 to 180,000 range overnight. And that just shows you how post-auction, what happens to the big players out there. So looking for a quiet session. If the E-mini can take out and then hold 1250, we should drift lower. And if the E-mini can't hold the 1250 area, then that'll give us our sideways market 130 minus to maybe 130.12 plus. So not a lot going on to talk about. The first little band of support is London's low. Right here, basically leaning against this high volume number. And we'll see if that holds. My guess is it won't. But having said that, you never know in this game. So the focus will be the E-mini's reaction to the news out of Europe. Now, if Italy follows the Greek model, Greece tells the EU and the European Central Bank exactly what they want to hear, then goes about its merry way. And Greece has cooked their books for years to meet the European budget spending requirements and then gone their merry way. And in fact, as of October, they were still spending $1.50 for every dollar that they collected, and nobody had been fired from the government unions. So, and Greece has to get money from the European Central Bank or the EU to even meet their budget. So the euphoria overnight in all the markets around the globe, we got very modest rallies. Collectively, Asia's up 1.1%. Europe's up 1.87%. We're up 6-7 handles overnight. So Italy, they've got a technician now running the government, another one of those highly educated, credentialed, connected individuals, Mario Monti. It's got great reviews right now. So the government has been passed over from Berlusconi to Monti, which is a positive. And now Italy has to pass their budget, which I'm sure they will do. Then the issue is, will they abide by the agreement that they've made to get the money? And that's up in the air. None of the press from people that follow the situation in the EU is really positive overnight. They say the same stuff basically all the time. The EU has not put up enough money to solve this problem, therefore it won't be solved. The only solution right now is a two-tiered monetary system for the EU, and that won't fly. It'd be very difficult to administer. And if I were in Italy, why would I want to have Spain participate in my money, or Portugal and the rest of it? It limits my ability to devalue my currency, etc. So I don't think that'll fly. I'm guessing we're seeing the dissolution of the EU. Okay, everybody wants to know, how do I trade the overnight session, and what's in it for me as a trader, and what do I have to be careful of? This market trades so technically, you can just count on it. And here's your RTF setup. We've got more than 2 bars of space in between it. You want to have at least 2 bars of space in between it. You've got compression on that bar, just absolutely no interest. You also had it here. But you do get a retest failure, and first stop is the mode mean that we'd expect. Second stop is down here. And when you test the top of value 2 to 3 times, with patience, you should cross the entire value area. Now the value area is pretty tight today, not too difficult to do, but I mean the rules just hold. So do I know if I'm right or wrong here? No. Is it a good trade? Yes. Does it fit my criteria, my methodology, my setup? Yes, it does. Is there any reason not to take the trade? No, not from a trader's perspective. From a psychological issue, you may not take the trade because you don't know if you're right. But if that's what's stopping you from trading, you got real problems. You're not suited psychologically to do this. And if you go to gaming tables or enjoy that, the difference between you not being able to do this but being able to go to Vegas or someplace, I guess every state's going to have an Indian tribe that builds a casino now. The difference is that in this game, you think you're smart enough to know what comes next. And in the gaming world, you know you're not smart enough. You know that it's random probabilities, so you don't beat yourself up psychologically when you're wrong. In this game, you knew you should have known that the market was going to do this before the fact. And you can't know what the market's going to do. What you can do is take trades that work, and these trades do work. Okay, taking a look at the E-mini. Listen, the news is bipolar. One day it's all good, one day it's all bad. The market gets big swings. The volume in the stock market is done off of buy and sell automated programs. They call them trade bots. And all it takes is upticks and buy orders in the queue or downticks and sell orders in the queue to kick this off. And it is self-feeding. It moves until the participants have made their money and head for the sidelines. Okay, getting stops above 1250. I mean, we are so close in getting stops above the overnight session high right here. Seems to me likely. Now, got a low volume number at 53. If we get through that, we've still got this, got the attractor up at 66, 67. We've got this two-letter ledge at 55. So you got stops here. That's pretty easy for an exchange member to see and want to go get. Then we've got our break at 55 to 57. Then here we are at 64 to 67. So that's where resistance is. And I'm pretty sure that we'll get above this. And I'm not really too interested in getting short. Maybe about 50% of this would put us up in that 57, 59 area. But if the sentiment is negative and large institutions are using these rallies to sell, we'll get our first feedback in what happens at 1250. If they just go up here and they get stops and then we start to sell, the sentiment is still pretty negative, and we'll have to see. 61.3 from Michigan sentiment would be viewed as a good number, supportive for the E-mini that comes at 9:55 Eastern. Less than 60, E-mini would probably react negatively to it. But the focus has been the euro currency, which is up, and the EU's solution for the pigs problem. And right now it's long on rhetoric. The details are always forthcoming from some other meeting, etc. And very, very short on funds and funding. So I mean, they're at the edge of the cliff, and Northern European voter constituencies have already told them that they ain't paying for this. So my guess is that it's setting up the next sell opportunity, but that may not come until next week. So getting stops above 50 is what I think this market is prone to do, and I see right now we're trading at 1250, 55. So I'm not really too interested in getting short until this area up here. But we have to be cognizant. Pay attention to what happens just above 1250 if the market gets slammed. Okay, one of the trades that we talk about regularly is the mean green trade, and in a trending market, it is as good as you're going to do when you get in. Period. In a strongly trending market, the value area high is where you're going to get in. So just looking at this screen, based on our market being up yesterday, Asia following through, the EU following through, not in a big way, but everything's on the buy side. The pain number 3 is definitely a buy. That's a plus. Pain number 2, getting more action above the line than you are below the line. So everything tells you to be a buyer. Even down here. So here's your W pattern. What's the W, Charlie? Usually the right shoulder is higher than the low. and you're long in the 1243, 1244 area. And where does the market stop? The value area high. Now, you can't tell me you don't know where this market is going before the fact. Here's an M pattern. Free look at the market. You're short in the 45 area. Give her a little, take a little bit. Trades back down to 43. There's a plus. Well, why would I take a short if it's going up? Well, this market's technically based. You get a retest of the high right there. You're at the value area high. I mean, why not get short? You're at least going to get to the mode, and you do. Market makes a new high right here. Retests the breakout in here. Can't break lower. Enter the market here in the 47 area, and currently we've traded up to 51 so far. So I mean this this trade just, they're there. Okay, I assume you're meaning do you mean the mean green trade, Greg? Well, the mean green trade is that you fade it. You just have a buy order, the green line plus a tick, or a sell order minus a tick when you come into it, and then you see what happens. Yeah, the blue line that moves there is a 4-period Hull moving average on the close only. That's to show you the M's and the W's. Yeah, it IDs the M's and the W's. It gives you a visual on it, but I don't use it for any more than that. But I'm sure somebody in the room effectively trades just the moving average. I don't pay attention to it. Your F5 screen will give you pretty good indications of probably a better entry than that does. So anyway, stops above 50. The idea that 55 to 64 area is prime sell territory, but we have to see how this thing acts above 50. That might be about it. Always something, isn't it? Okay, good trading. Let's get after it. Let's go make our money, and I'll be back no later than on the hour.